Alright, this is Luigi Rocks 2014, here with walkthrough number 28. This has actually been a game that I've been kind of putting off doing for a long time, not as well as putting off getting for some time too. Um, what's the game gonna be? Well, you just have to wait and find out. Yep, Kirby's Return to Dreamland. When this game first came out, I've been kind of having doubts about whether or not I wanted to get this game on the Wii or not, and so about 8 years after the game came out, I finally decided to get a copy of the game. But but of course, little did I know the Nintendo Switch version came out. And again, this was 2019 that I got this game, and yeah, I didn't know at the time that there was gonna be a Nintendo Switch version of this game. So you guys are pretty much going to be stuck seeing the Wii walkthrough of this game instead of the Switch version. But it's really not a big deal because fortunately there's going to be tons of YouTubers, or certainly going to be tons of YouTubers that are going to do walkthroughs of the Switch version. So you guys can always just look that up from there. Yeah, I forget why I had two main files. Oh yeah. This was a file I think I had that me and a friend initially created, and, well, that file's going down the drain because I basically don't even talk to that friend anymore. I forget why I had number 2. I think number 2 was just my practice file. Not that it really matters anyways, since I don't even think I've touched base with that file for a while. I don't even know if I initially end up deleting that file over time. And if number 1 ends up being the only file, I have no clue. But yep, this is basically the intro to the game. As far as I've researched, the Switch version really didn't have much to offer except a few extras and all that stuff. A few extra minigames being added or whatever. I don't know, it just, to me personally, just didn't seem like it was worth the money in getting that game, so that's why I decided to just stick with what I had previously recorded in 2020, which is the Wii version of Return to Dreamland. But what's actually really annoying now is that I actually have to, well, I wasn't initially planning on doing this, but I guess I'm going to have to add Wii in the title, as like in the apostrophes or whatever, because yeah, since the Switch version's out, I don't want people getting confused with the Wii walkthrough that I'm doing with the Switch walkthrough. And of course, it's not just this game that I had to do that, like add the console name in the title. I had to do the same thing with Super Mario Sunshine as well. That one I also had to put GameCube in the title so everyone knows I wasn't doing the Switch version of that game. Since Super Mario 3D All-Stars came out and all that stuff. Or I think it's, yeah, Super Mario 3D All-Stars. I don't really remember if it was that or just Mario 3D All-Stars or some shit. I don't know. Yeah. So I think you guys kind of already might have figured out that, yeah, some little unknown ship came crashing onto planet Popstar. 5 pieces were scattered, along with 120 of those gears that are referred to as energy spears, as you will find out. But, well, I guess I'll just say it anyways. The guy that crash landed onto Popstar's name is Maglore, or Magalore. I forget how it's pronounced. I think it's Magalore, but I could be wrong. Anyways, the first world, or level, I guess as they refer to it as, is Cookie Country. And this is basically what would be known as the grassland of Epic Yarn. Although, to be honest, comparing this game to Epic Yarn, I even admit now that this is actually way better than Epic Yarn. Epic Yarn, you really didn't have much else to really do in that game. I mean, there wasn't really like any special like power-ups or transformations you could get in that game. you know, you can turn into certain crap, like a car to run faster and all that, but... I don't know, it just didn't really seem to make the game worth playing. Like right here, this is not something that you would see in Epic Yarn, the sword power-up. So that's yet another reason why people prefer this game over Epic Yarn any day. Yeah, getting rid of Waddle Dees and stuff like that. But again, just like The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, this is also, again, yet another walkthrough that I recorded a long time ago. This was actually recorded about 1 year after 1 or 2 years after I bought the game. Because actually, if I remember, I don't think it was 2019 that I bought the game. 2019, I think it was 2018, now that I think about it more. So, yeah, that was definitely quite a long time ago that I bought the Wii version of this game. Return to Dreamland. But yeah, this was, of course, yeah, recorded after Epic Yarn was finished up. And yeah, the energy spears, we want to try to collect those for 100%. The title may not really say 100%, and that's just mainly because I'm not really intending on doing this game. Well, the only part of the game I'm not 100%ing are the mini-games. That's the only one part I'm not doing. Otherwise, I will 100% the main story of the game, but that's about all I'm going to do. So you will see me collecting the energy spear. So, if anything, it's going to be not a 100% walkthrough, but more of a 94% walkthrough, which I could probably put that on the title, but if I did that, I don't know how much more confusing it would be. I don't know how much it would confuse people if I did just that. So I'm just not going to put any percentage thing on the title. Well, it doesn't really matter if I lose the sword power-up or not, because I'm actually going to have to get rid of it in this next area, so yep, I just get rid of it right there. Why do I get rid of the sword power-up? Well, you're about to find out here in a second. Yep, there's an even better power-up than that one, but it doesn't last very long, called the Ultra Sword. Now, I have got to admit, this music right here, one of the best songs in Return to Dreamland. I think it's called the Super Ability theme, if I remember correctly. It should just be called Ultra Ability, but for some frickin' reason, Nintendo, I guess, calls it Super Ability in the soundtrack. I don't even know. I mean, I guess it kind of makes sense. I mean, just look at that. A gigantic sword, yeah. Looks pretty super alright, I'd say. Let's see, yep. Get rid of these guys. You know, since I'm just too lazy to just fly over them, yeah, we're just gonna get rid of them with the Ultra Sword. And after that, you open up a portal to, I guess, a different dimension. To be quite honest, I don't really know exactly what the hell you'd call this place. I guess in some ways it could be called the Negative Zone, but I mean, just because, you know, everything's in black and white, but I don't really know. But this music, for some reason, and I don't know why this is, for some reason this music reminds me of Super Smash Brothers. Like, don't ask me why, it kind of has some Super Smash Brothers vibes to it, or at least to me it does. I don't really know I don't initially know why that is, it just does. Alright. But yeah, for this first, like, Negative Zone level thing, it's, like, really easy. Later ones get a lot harder, and you'll see that to where I end up actually dying in a few of them. But here we have a Spear Doomer. They're supposedly really easy bosses, but some of the later fights I make them end up looking more difficult than they need to be. Like, see, this guy's a lot easier with the sword power-up. You do have the option of using, I guess, the fire ability, but that ability doesn't really end up becoming more useful until later in the game. Right now, in the early parts, it's not really that useful at all. But, anyways, so that's our first level complete. Yeah, get rid of those guys. I should have checked if there was something up there, but oh well. And yep, number 2. The goal game, it's basically like, you have to press the A button at a certain amount of time, or not A button, the 2 button at the right moment to get to the number 1 spot. And if you can get to that, you basically just get like 30 energy spears. But depending on how many people you're playing with, you can also get maximum tomatoes and even 1-ups as well if everyone lands on number 1 at the same time. Like, if everyone lands on number 1, they basically get, like, special bonuses, like, again, maximum tomatoes or 1-ups. But because I'm playing by myself, you're not going to be seeing any of that action, sadly. Yeah, I don't know why I switched to the leaf power-up. I don't know, I've been kind of liking this power-up a lot. I mean, the fact that Kirby can do that tornado spin with the leaf power-up. But yeah, really cool power-up. Now we're going to head off to the next area. For the most part, I think I do manage to get the energy spears without missing any of them most of this walkthrough. I can't remember if there was any in this first world that I missed, because I know one of them can be a little bit tricky to find. Especially, I think, in this level, but I don't know. I don't think it ends up being that hard. Alright. Oh, yep, and of course I have to switch to the cutter ability. Because actually, I think one of the energy spears, you might actually need this power-up, but I'm probably wrong on that. I don't really know. I mean, these spider-like enemies, you can just get rid of them no problem with the leaf power-up as well. But I decided on the safe side just to stick with this power-up, because yeah, I figured there might be something I might need with this. Alright, yeah, see, it didn't really matter if I lose that, since that enemy has the power-up as well. Alright, anything up here? Nope. Yeah, but because I hadn't played this game in quite some time, I was trying to remember where the energy spears were. Although, to be honest, I mean, I remember it wasn't really... Well, no, actually, it was a long time ago that I played this game with a friend. Because around the moment... Because the time I'd played this game with one of my friends was back in... Like, I think it was like early 2019 or something like that. So, of course, I didn't really remember where everything was. Yeah, I don't think I end up doing any cuts or anything. But be careful here, because if you fall, you're pretty much going to die. That's actually another thing I guess I should point out. If you're playing this game with 2 or more people, basically it doesn't matter if the second, third, or fourth player dies. But what matters is that, like, what really matters is that the first player does not die. Because if player 1 ends up dying, then you basically have to redo the whole area all over again, like basically to where the last door you saved at, basically. Like, the doors are basically like checkpoints. So if player 1 dies, you basically start over at the last door you went into. But as for the second, third, or fourth player, it doesn't matter whether or not they die in the level, because it doesn't mean that they have to mean that the level ends up restarting. No, it only restarts when the first person dies. So that's definitely something important to keep in mind if anyone is looking to play this game with any friends or anything. And I don't, again, think it was this game that they made this a thing. I'm pretty sure this was also a thing in Kirby Star Allies, too. I can't fully remember that for sure, because I didn't really play the multiplayer of that game. I do also have a walkthrough of that game coming up as well, but that's not going to be for a very, very long time. In fact, I think if I... Hold on, I'll check my phone real quick. Here we have an enemy called Giant Edge, which is basically an enemy where you can get the sword power up. Again, I don't know why I need that power up, but yep. Basically, yeah, get the sword power up. Oh yeah, you do need the sword power up to get that. That's right. Yeah, I'm trying to remember where... Okay, here we go. Yeah, Kirby Star Allies is actually going to be walkthrough number 39, so that's going to be So you won't be seeing that walkthrough until about 10 more walkthroughs later, or a little over 10 walkthroughs later. So yeah, that's something to keep in mind. But yeah, this and Star Allies, I think, were like the only... Or no, Star Allies, this and Star Allies weren't the only Kirby walkthroughs I did. I also did Kirby in the Forgotten Land earlier this year. I was actually considering doing a walkthrough on Sonic Frontiers as well, but I just didn't want to take the risk of doing a walkthrough on that game, and then it was like I end up having a hard time beating it or something. Because, admittedly, there were a few parts of the game where I almost considered just not even bothering to beat the game completely just because of how irritating certain sections of the game were. But yeah, I decided not to do a blind walkthrough on Frontiers, so I think Frontiers, if anything, will probably be a walkthrough that I'll save for like if I decide to do any live streams on Twitch. I'll probably keep that on the list of plans to do on Twitch if I ever do decide to stream on there. And yeah, you want to head down here and grab your first energy spear before going in that door. Oh, in this area. This music here is like, alright, I guess. Unfortunately, this is like the only part of the game where you actually hear this song. As far as I recall, it doesn't really return in any other parts of the game. Yeah, basically it's like some silly music, I guess you could call it. I don't really know how else to describe it. But yeah, it's unfortunate that it's only in like one part of the game, and that's basically about it. Yep, I kind of messed that up. Not that it really matters, because it's not really like I need any fruits or anything to patch up my health. Yeah, the early parts of the game is really easy, but later parts end up getting a lot more difficult, as you will see. Especially going into the last world. Or second to last world, I guess you could say. Anyways, get rid of these guys. There's an energy spear there, but we have to get a key. Alright, so let's see, just go up here, and then, grab this key and then jump. Yeah, I think after this level, that's probably going to end up being the end of the video after this level's done. Because, yeah, I got about, like, 1 minute left. So, yeah, I think all we're doing is, yeah, just doing the first 2 levels of this game and then pretty much just calling it good after that. For this part, anyways. Yeah, this part, as you guys probably are, or this walkthrough, as you guys probably already can guess, if you've been on my Discord server, took me about 15 parts to finish. Really not a difficult Kirby game at all. And yeah, I probably could have done this in 1080p, but most walkthroughs, for me personally, if I end up doing a walkthrough that's over 10 parts long, I usually prefer to just stick with 720p. Alright. Yeah, so we're just gonna redo this part of the video. Or I'm redoing this part of the post-commentary just because I didn't even realize that I was at the end of the video and all that stuff. So, anyways, at this part here, yeah, you just gotta follow that enemy that's holding the key to get your last energy spear. Yeah, I'm redoing this part of the commentary because I was on a basically a long rant about the Mario Kart 8 walkthrough that I did back in 2014. Which, if I remember to, maybe I'll talk more about it in the next video. But anyways, that's the third energy spear. We're pretty much at the end of the video. So, yeah, basically all I end up doing is just doing this goal game. And, yeah, that's basically it. So, yeah, number 4. Bit of an epic fail, but yeah. Anyways, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you next time when we do part 2 of Kirby's Return to Dreamland on the Nintendo Wii. Until then, this is Luigi Rocks 2014, signing out.